What's up with it, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Raider Honcho, and I'm back with a brand new video for you.
Remy in my cup, turn me up, what we talking about? Now we doing us, moving up, what we talking about? Raider flags waving off the truck, what they talking about? Raider Nation dominating, only thing to talk about. Black shades, black tee, that's Raider Honcho, baby. East Coast, energy, that's Raider Honcho, baby. Head coach.
Alright guys, get right into it. You already know the vibes. You already know what type of time I'm on. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, well damn, subscribe to the channel. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, both at Raider Honcho. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking in your minds. Do the boy even know what's going on with the NFL? Does he even watch football? Is he even a fan of the Raiders anymore? I will tell you right now, shut the hell up. Okay? I had stuff going on. Life be lifing. I got jobs. I got work. I got kids. I got things I got to do. But don't get it mistaken for 1 second. It's still the same OG. Facts over feelings. Tell you what you need to hear. Maybe not what you want to hear. Let's get into it right now. The truth about Maxx Crosby. Well, the truth about Maxx Crosby is I don't know what the hell's going on with him. Every time I open up Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, every time I get on IG, every time I get up in the streets, in the trenches, everybody's talking about Maxx wants to leave. Maxx don't want to leave. Maxx wants to get traded. He don't want to get traded. He want to be a Patriot. He want to be a Raider. I don't know what's going on, but there is one thing that I do know, and there's one thing that I do believe, and there's one thing that to me is the truth of all of this, is if the Raiders were to move on from Maxx Crosby, it would benefit us. It would benefit the Las Vegas Raiders if they did move on from Maxx Crosby. Because the truth of the matter is, if you get rid of Maxx Crosby now, you'll probably get some draft picks back. You get some good draft picks back. We're already in a position to be rebuilding. When you talk about Brock Bowers, when you talk about Ashton Genty, when you talk about bringing in a brand new quarterback, right? You're already saying that you're rebuilding this thing. You brought in a new young head coach, which I was a very big fan of Kubiak, because he was the offensive coordinator for the Saints when he was over there with my boy Derek Carr. But I digress. You got all these new young pieces in place. It will behoove you to continue to get younger and get younger through the draft, right? Obviously, you can pick up pieces in free agency. I understand that. Maxx Crosby is one of those players that I love to have on the team. You love to have him in the organization. You love to have him be a part of your franchise and retire a part of your franchise. But the truth of the matter is we got to get better, and we need to get better now. And we need to start putting the pieces in place now, right? And one thing that a hard truth about Maxx Crosby is, and when it comes to the NFL and when it comes to the Raiders, Maxx Crosby doesn't play a position that directly impacts wins and losses. And that's just the truth. I know a lot of people are going to argue that you got to put pressure on the quarterback. Maxx Crosby gets sacks. He does this. He does it. I understand all of that. But the truth of the matter is in the NFL, you got to have a quarterback. You got to have an offensive line. You got to be able to run the football. And do you need to pressure the quarterback? Absolutely, you need to be able to pressure the quarterback. That doesn't mean that there's only one way to do that. That doesn't mean you have to have a superstar defensive end in order to do that. All right, the facts of the matter is that as good as Maxx Crosby is, we've already been losing with him. What are we going to do, lose more without him? Like, we've already lost enough games with him. It was the same thing with Khalil Mack. I did not want to see Khalil Mack go, but we were losing anyway with him. Even with Khalil Mack, we still had a bottom 25 defense in the NFL. It just is what it is. So if we move on from Maxx Crosby and we can find a way to get some draft picks and get younger and get better at certain positions, use those picks or use whatever capital we get from Maxx Crosby to build the trenches up, offensive line, defensive line, because we're also about to play a 3-4. 3-4 defensive end is a little different than a 4-2-5 defensive end or a 4-3 defensive end. Our defensive line and our defensive front seven, if you will, is going to be predicated on linebackers, right? You're going to need linebackers. You're going to need outside linebackers that can walk down and play like defensive ends anyway. Maxx Crosby wasn't the best against the run. He does put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but you can win without a Maxx Crosby. You can win without a Maxx Crosby. So if we can get something in return, I think that's what the Raiders need to do. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. I'm not saying that they should move on from Maxx Crosby. What I'm saying is that moving on from Maxx Crosby is not the worst case scenario. It's not the worst thing in the world. And when you're talking about rebuilding a new team, you got to have pieces. You got to have capital. You got to have resources to go get young players that you can develop in your system. And I think moving on from Maxx Crosby, especially if he don't want to be here no more, and if he doesn't want to be here anymore, I'm not mad at him about that either. Like, yo, he's tried his best. He's worked hard. He's been a warrior for us, and we're just not winning games. He deserves to go somewhere to win. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at him for that, but I just think that if we do move on from Maxx Crosby, I think the Raiders are going to benefit benefit from that greatly, and I think I'm going to be better for it. I want you guys to get down in the comments and let me know what you think, man. Let me know what you think about Maxx Crosby. Should he stay? Should he go? Are you guys happy about the opportunity and maybe just getting more pieces for him? Like, let me know. Get down in the comments. And I know you wonder where I've been at, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I picked up some new jobs. You know what I mean? I'm coaching varsity basketball now. Like, I can't be here all the time. I gotta be in the trenches. I gotta be present. All right? Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. It's good to be back on here. I would say that I'm gonna be back on here all the time, but we already know when I say I'll be back soon. That's like 3 months. But, you know, hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. Both at Raider Honcho. Until next time, as always, Raider Honcho out.